What's going on here? No lightings. Where's this camera? How's that looking? What's going on, guys? Girls, whoever's here. Sorry, I don't know how the lighting is. Figured I would just jump online. Can you guys hear me? What's up, Dennis? Sounds okay? I should probably put a headphone on. Let's see if I can even hear myself. There you go. All right, I'm not gonna wear it. I just want to make sure there's audio coming out of it. Lots of fun news this morning, huh? How exciting is this? Subject today, Colby. There's some new stuff that released. We could talk about it. Sorry, my office is, as you can tell, it's a hot mess. There's been a lot of things going on in the news that I had a lot of things out and about, but I wanted to go live because I think everyone that's kind of posted their videos, I'm sure you guys follow a lot of people, and but I don't think anyone's going live just to chat it up with you guys that actually, has done a review on it. So I figured I would just jump on and talk with you guys if you have questions and things like that while it's here. Well, it's going to be here, but while I have it. That way you guys are just watching a bunch of videos and then trying to make some sort of decision of it, which is still fine. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, as far as price goes, honestly, just whatever's on the website. I think it's like $12.49 and $14.99 or something like that. So let me pull it up real quick, actually. Let's go to Mavic 2. Buy now. $14.49 for the Mavic 2 Pro, and then the zoom starts at $12.49. So $200 difference. And sorry, guys. Maybe I'll get some water or a drink or something. What time is it? 12:02. Let's chat. All right. 50. Whoa, 50 you guys in here. That's awesome. If you guys have questions, of course, shoot them in the comments. I just want to be kind of a resource here because I don't think, a lot of people are actually doing that. Why not? I have the drone here, but instead of just throwing out videos and hoping you guys watch them, but at the same time, if you guys have questions about them directly, why not just answer them? Makes it a little bit easier for everybody. And if you guys are on the fence about ordering it, maybe there's some things I might be able to answer. I'm not, I don't have everything, but something's better than nothing. So I'll start from the top. I don't know if there's any questions coming in, but at least I can start addressing some stuff if you guys have anything. Should I sell my Mavic Pro, get a Mavic 2? What's the subject today, Colby? Mavic 2, man. Do you have one in your hands? No, I don't have one in my hands. Now I have one in my hands. Mavic 2 Pro. So just playing around with you, Blake. Release date, I'm assuming they're going to be, honestly, they're probably going to be shipping out today, or this weekend. So if you guys are thinking about getting it and worried, to take a while, I mean, you definitely want to be, on that first batch of orders when they release. So sooner the better. Even better if you guys want to order. I have links on my on that unboxing page. Feel free to use those. Those are DJI affiliate links. So it basically just supports the channel, supports the channel if you guys use those links. So it's much appreciative if you guys got value from my videos. Feel free to support as well. Peter, see, been flying it now for at least the last couple weeks. Do I feel the price is worth it? That's from Charlie. Definitely. I think you're still in the same price range as the Phantom 4 Pro when it came out. You're basically at that same level, actually better, updated, OcuSync, updated sensors, newest and latest and greatest, and with the size of a Mavic Pro. So you can't really go wrong. Either one of them are honestly pretty awesome. The zoom and the 1-inch sensor, as far as drone goes, they're exact same drones. As far as camera goes, they're completely different. So it's really what you plan on doing with it. What do you want to use it for? I would definitely say, that's where your decision needs to be made. Sucks that you crashed at knife. What's going on? Yeah, send it back. People are saying the wiser money is on the zoom. I see that you have a Pro. What are my thoughts, Dennis? Like I said, that's my thoughts. It's it really depends on the use case. If you're just I think, in my opinion, if you're just a regular average flyer, and you produce videos, of course, the quality. I'm not going to talk too much about just the quality, unless you are, sorry, I'm going to take that back. If you're shooting only for quality, right? If you're the type of person that was flying an Inspire or a Phantom 4 Pro, yeah, the 1-inch sensor on the Hasselblad, or the Pro's version, is probably the way you're going to want to go. If you're new to it, you want a little bit more creative freedom, and your output is still going to be high quality. The zoom is, you have more. I think you have more creative options with the zoom. Individuals, Phantom Series. What's up, Colin? Is the Phantom Series dead? It is right now, unless until they figure out what the next thing is. Who knows? I don't know. I have no idea what the Phantom Series is going to do. Do I think they're going to kill it? I don't think they're going to kill it. I think I just think there's always they're always working on the next thing, guys. It's this Mavic 2 is definitely 2 years out, right? So the Phantom 5 or whatever number we're on now, I have no idea. It could be, knowing that they can put a 1-inch sensor on a Mavic, what's not saying that they couldn't put a Micro Four Thirds on a Phantom? So I don't know. It'd be great if the Mavic Pro 1 batteries were capable or compatible with the 2. Yeah, it would have been great. Bigger platform. It weighs more. They had to bump it up. I think the Mavic 1 was a 3S battery. This is a 4S battery. So I mean, everything had to be bumped up to even get it to manage flight time, right? So you know, it would have been nice, but it weighs more. Nick, 2 questions. Do you both have zoom capabilities and obstacle avoidance sensors on all 4 sides and fly around them? Zoom capabilities are only on the zoom. If I'm not sure if I read that right. Obstacle avoidance is on both of them. Zoom and the Pro both have obstacle avoidance. They both have the omnidirectional sensors. Aerial surveys, I think you could do that, Martin. I think aerial surveys does. I don't think it really matters which one you have to do a survey. You're really mapping out a location and mapping out your waypoints. So, will it help you? I think it might help you. You know, just you could do the survey and then you can actually use that zoom capability to possibly do other things that you need to do with while you're surveying that land. Is acquired in the Platinum. Honestly, it sounds very similar to the Platinum. I have a sound test video that's going that I just shot, but I haven't gone through all of the details. But they're very comparable with the Phantom. With the Platinum, Mavic Pro Platinum. Definitely quieter than the regular Mavic Pro. I don't know when it's going to be in South Africa, so I'm sorry about that. Newbie to Just Jake, newbie to drones, ordered the Mavic Zoom, upgrading from a Spark. What should I expect? Are there big differences? Yeah, it's a completely different drone from the Spark. The Spark is really fun kind of entry into the space of drones. Even the Mavic Pro is a huge jump from the Spark. I have the Spark as well, but I definitely don't want to think. You don't think about distance when you're flying. When you're flying the Mavic with the Spark, you know that thing's like 100 feet away, and I get scared already. Would you say that the Peter Mavic 2 Pro versus Phantom 4 Pro V2 are about the same? I don't have V2. I have the Phantom 4 Pro, and the out of camera they're comparable. I think there's like some tone differences, just the way it's rendered. So I did some side by sides. I'm actually going to be posting a sensor video. Actually, let me ask you guys a quick question. I have a few videos coming out. I have one that just kind of goes into in detail about the sensor in general, and I believe that's going to be a huge benefit just to understand, because I think a lot of people, while they hear all these buzzwords of 1-inch sensor, what does it do? That low light, contrast, dynamic range. I myself, there's so much information out there, but I don't feel like a lot of it's geared towards drone flyers, because a lot of it is actually just photography lingo and photography education. So I just made a video, and I think I'll put that one up next, but it's really just to understand why it's such a big deal in the photography land. When people talk about sensors and bigger sensors, what does that mean? It's easy just to throw those words around, but I'm trying to give it a little bit more detail, especially to the drone flyers that follow my channel. You guys kind of know that I sit right in the middle. I sit right in the middle of the creative space and also the education space. So I want to. These are all questions that I had when I was, getting into photography years ago, and I think people nowadays don't realize that it's still photography. It's still photography at the end of the day. It's just flying, right? It's just up in the air. Steve, no, both don't have dolly zoom capability because you need the zoom lens for that. Have you tried Hyperlapse? Dennis, yes, I have. Hyperlapse video probably drops tomorrow. It's more about my video is not necessarily going to show like all these cool, crazy sunsets and everything that they showed in the demo. Mine is actually going to walk you guys through the app. I have a lot of videos more about showing you exactly how it works and what's happening real time when I'm flying than it is just showing outputs. I think we're going to see, of course, a ton of outputs from everybody that's making amazing stuff. There's no way I'm going to compete from somebody that's flying a hyperlapse in Iceland over ridiculous scenery. So You can see those as far as what you're capable of doing. My videos are more about understanding how they work, what you're seeing in the app, and trying to get you guys in kind of like the hot seat of here's what I'm seeing, here's what I'm doing, and here are the things that you need to change. Here's some settings that I go through. So things like that are kind of more for what I like to do in my videos. Retirement gift. Oh man, that'd be awesome. So they took away the Mavic Pro. What's up, Stan? They took away the Mavic Pro type step zoom. Mavic Pro. I think you're talking about the pinch zoom. If you are, then I think they did take away that. Let's see here. Oh, sorry, I gotta catch up. Blake, why more creative freedom? The zoom lens gets you different types of perspectives. You have a different when you're zoomed into a subject. If you're actually to think about it, take away the aerial aspect of it. When you zoom into a subject and you actually were to compress the background a little bit more, the perspective is a lot different, right? So I think they showed it in the show this morning that when they showed that couple that was sitting on top of the rocks, and they showed it at 28, and then they also showed it at 40. There's a perspective difference. Is that also when you're zoomed in and then you're moving, there's definitely a big parallax effect. So if you guys aren't familiar with parallax effects, it's basically front and back. So it's the distance between these two and what it looks like in the background versus foreground. So this is why you're getting this like weird vertigo effect when they're doing that zoom, because the drone is actually moving back and forth. So it's kind of like me moving my chair back and forth while it's zooming in and out. So you're getting this really cool vertigo effect. So I think that's why I say there's a little bit more creative freedom with it, is that you just have a little bit more options to play with zoom, play with these perspective shots a little bit, whereas on the Pro you're fixed, which isn't a bad thing. You're fixed, but you have higher quality. So the reason why I like the Pro is because, as you guys know, if you guys follow my channel, I print. So having a little bit higher quality and having a larger image size at the end of the day is something that I really like. But at the same time, I don't know. I might actually spring and order the zoom as well, just for that other aspect. Yeah. So I mean, Ange visuals. Yeah. So I mean, bigger sensor won't affect much. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like just understanding the photography side. Do you want a point and shoot? Do you want a DSLR? Here do you want a cell phone camera or do you want a point and shoot? Yep. Keep up the good job. Thank you. 88 monks. Any new modes? Yeah, there's a couple new modes. And I'm actually releasing a video. I'll probably put that up now. Well, it's actually up there. I just need to publish it. There's a really cool mode, and I think this is the one that's not talked about, which is the reason why I did it, is because I think it's a really, really, really good. It's a new point of interest mode. Excuse me. I watched the whole thing. Did you guys see a point? I probably have to watch it again. I didn't see if they talked about the point of interest one. What's up, Zach? What's up, Vince? Is the Pro too techie if you aren't a pro? No. You're not going to notice the difference honestly, if you're like, when you say, hey, Blake, this is your question, Blake. Is a Pro too techie if you aren't a pro? I mean, it's the output, right? It's the output of what you guys want to do with it. If you're just a social media poster and like just literally for Instagram, man, you can just save your money and get a Mavic Pro or anything, because your output is so small. But if you want to have just different options, That's where the Pro and the zoom come into play, because the types of output is going to be a little bit different. If you need 4K, if you need just higher 4K, you need, if you understand how to, do post processing, color grading, and things like that, you definitely want that range if you're going to use. If you get into that side of things, then you're going to want, the most information as possible, and that Pro gives you the most information as possible. But the zoom, I think, gives you just more creative options. Have you heard, Scott Peters? Have you heard any ability to switch cameras between Pro and Zoom? Haven't heard. I don't think they're not removable, unless there's like some crazy switch that they're not telling me or telling us. But it's not removable. Dang, now you got me wanting to look at it. Like, what if there's just like a little switch? It's like, oh, you can take it off. But no, that would be awesome. No, so those from what I know, those tweets and everything that you guys see out there, those are definitely just some. This drone is probably sitting next to some other like battery pack or something, and then everyone started putting two together, like, oh my god, it's removable, and then there it is, it's a handheld gimbal, which I can see why it looks like. Can the one inch shoot vertically, like full 90 degrees? Yes. And if you're talking about shooting like top down shots, yeah. I'm assuming you just mean like vertical, like straight down. So yeah. And actually, my most recent IG post, if you guys haven't checked it out, those are all top down shots. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Throw it in the comments, just chat, just in case. Let's see here. Sorry, let me back up a little bit. I forgot how far back I am. And if I might have missed your question, maybe type it back in there or something. Let's see. What was the John Jones? What was the reason for the delay? I think that the reason for the delay is production. I think they literally are going to ship out like today. That's my guess. Like, I have a weird feeling that like people are going to be posting like they got it like this weekend. Because if they're shipping out of the States, it'll be here tomorrow or by the weekend. If they're shipping from China, I don't know, but if they're shipping it and it's from the States already, if it's already here, then you literally might get it this weekend. Gimbal swap. I don't know about that service yet. That they mentioned it, but I don't know if it's a gimbal swap. And when I say gimbal swap service, I believe, and I'm not well. Never mind. Let me not talk about that because I really don't know. I was just assuming that they, in case something went wrong with your drone, they're not going to swap out your entire drone. They'll just switch out the camera, which just seems like a service thing to me than anything else. So I'm not sure if there's more behind that or not. Yeah. So Peter, I don't know about the service swap. There was only touched upon during that this morning. So I'm not 100% sure exactly what that means. Yeah, Mavic Pilot. I mean, maybe it's worded differently. That it can't shoot vertical. I mean, it can't, from what I saw. No, the gimbal, like how the Mavic used to be able to go into portrait mode. That it can't do. But vertically, I mean, it has to. I mean, yeah, it does. I mean, and if I'm assuming vertically, it just means point straight down. Yeah, Dennis, there you go. See, people are already saying it's shipped already, so it'll be here. Does the Mavic Pro look up? Yes, it does look up. Looks up a little bit. Can the Mavic Pro 1 chargers work on the Mavic 2? No, completely different batteries, completely different connections. And there's actually filters as well. So make sure you guys check those out. There's a bunch of filters that are coming out, as you can see right here on the table. So a lot of people are saying, oh, they messed up with the camera. They're not going to be able to put filters on it. They think of it all. So yes, there is a filter set. I don't know. I don't believe it's on their website yet. Or let me know if it is. I don't believe I saw it on the accessories thing yet. But it might be. Let me check real quick. So if you guys know it's there or not, maybe it's in shop now. Let me see. Shop now. Let's see. No, must have. You have the Fly More kit. You have intelligent batteries, low noise props, car charger, and a hub. So no, they don't have the filters yet, but they have them. So look out for those. I came in now. Have you ever wondered if the new propellers work on the Mavic Platinum? Yes, they do. They fit at least. I haven't flown it with it yet, but they do fit. I talked about that in my unboxing video. How do the ND filters go on, Luke? So, see that little line right there? Right here? It twists off. All you have to do is twist it off, and it comes right off. It's really simple, actually. You just have to give it a quick nudge on the very first time you do it. And then you put this one back on. You can see there's 4 clips on there. There's 4 little tabs. You just push that in and then click it back into place. It actually works out really, really well. Visual. What do you think of missing 4K 60? Yeah, give and take of sensor size. I think that's one of the takes. Would have been nice. But I think maybe a true 4K at 60, it wouldn't have handled it. Might have to punch in or something. Is the Mavic 2 bag the same as the Mavic Pro? That I don't know. Mine just came in a box. There was no bag. ND filters are from DJI. They probably haven't been released yet, but they more likely will be up on there. Family of 5. What situation do you think you'll use ND filters now that you have variable aperture? This will be my first experience with that. Scott Peters. The filters are still, the thing is, if you want to shoot wide open, you still want to shoot at a lower aperture versus an f11, f8. In its bright daylight, the only way you're able to bring that f-stop down is to darken up the image. And if f11 isn't dark enough, then you're going to have to stop it down with filters. So know that even though you can stop down, it only goes to an f11. So if you're used to like a DSLR, you can go up to like f16 or 22 or something like that. This only brings you down to an f11, which is still really good. The video I just shot, I'll be posting that after this live chat. It's the new point of interest one, and in order for me to dial in my shutter speed at, I was shooting at 4K at 30, so my shutter speed needed to be at 60. In order for me to bring that shutter speed down to 60, I actually had to bring the aperture down to f11. Now, other than that, if I couldn't bring it down to f11, say I can only go to like f8 or f5.6, then I would have been overexposed at 60 frames a second. That is where your ND filter would have came into play. Any changes, Peter? Any changes with the app? Yes, the app is looks very similar, but a lot of the UI in the app, the user interface in the app has been updated to, and it's actually a lot better. It's a lot more intuitive when you're doing smart modes, and I think everyone will like the Go 4 app update. Mavic 2 fell. Gaming Freak. How does the Mavic 2 fell? Feel after on it? I mean, it feels good. The body, they have a look. I feel like it's a different material, but it feels really nice. Flies just as stable as everything else. I actually like that it's a little bit heavier. I feel like once you have a heavier drone, I think this is the reason why the Phantom 4 did so well in the air, besides the fact it's very aerodynamic, but the weight plays a big deal in the air, especially during high winds. So I would never really fly the Spark or anything small outside, because I feel like it would just, it would struggle, and then you're dependent on now the 3-axis gimbal or 2-axis gimbal on the Spark to maintain balance. So I actually like that, the fact it's heavier, and they didn't skimp out on flight time. So they made it heavier, but they made up for it with the battery. Yes, I had an option. I wanted to go with the Pro. And the reason why is, like I said, I think it was more because I like to print my work. And for me, any bump in resolution is kind of the direction I like as a photographer. But it's, depending on what you're shooting too, if you need just that little extra on low light, a little bit extra. But I think one of the bigger things is to think about is the aperture. The adjustable aperture is still a big deal. The zoom doesn't have that option. So, there's those things like that. Once you start getting into dilating in properly, not just kind of shooting auto, those things start mattering. Zach, I don't think it has portrait mode. I'll check again. I think I would have seen that, but I don't believe it does. And plus, portrait mode on the Mavic was different because the way the gimbal was set up, it was able to turn the entire sensor around. This one, there's no way you can't actually turn the whole camera around. So I can't speak for the zoom, but I think I don't think it's going to be in there. Which of the better two, Hasselblad or Zoom? Roxel. It's all a matter of your preference on the output. What do you want to do with it? Is it correct that the Mavic 2 Pro is changing automatically from 2.4 to 5.8 if required? I believe so, but I haven't jumped into the frequencies testing. I will check, but so let's don't quote me on any of that stuff yet until I test it. But from what I heard, I think that's what they were saying. It's something that would automatically switch, but until I test it, I won't know. Can you compare the battery side by side with the old Mavic? I did a video of that, and that will be up probably tomorrow as well. Does the lens twist off like a GoPro Chimera to change the lens for? Yeah, it just it does twist off. It's like one click. It just will click and then it'll pop out. Scott Peters, some reports that DJI is planning to offer a Mavic 2 remote. Until I see it, I don't know. I don't have any updates on that. So that'd be awesome. But I have no confirmation of any of those, of any screen yet. The remote is the same size remote right now as all the other ones, except for those couple little changes that I talked about. And I think those changes, as small as they might seem, are actually a pretty big deal. The Sport 2 tripod, and also that little notch that they took out. So this little notch right here, oh man, that's actually a big deal, especially for you people with the button there. Well, I say you people, myself included, but it's a big deal. I used to fly with my iPhone 6 all the time, and of course you can never get to that. Now you can, and it just gives you a little bit of extra room in there. But super cool. And then this feature right here, which I talk about in my video, the which is a sport tripod and position modes. Really cool that they give it a quick switch. Still comes with SD card. No, no SD card. Comes with 8 gig internal. I don't believe, unless you buy it as a package somewhere, somebody. If it comes with a card, mine didn't come with a card. I don't believe they do anymore because of that 8 gig internal. But you never know. I don't believe it's part of their package though. Do I know if any Family 5? I know if any companies are making ND filters for sure. I mean, I know I have friends at Polar Pro that are already on it, and a bunch of other companies. I'm sure we'll see it this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it today, or at least announced today. So, today's the day, so everyone's jumping in and making sure that they push their stuff out there. Thanks, Dennis, for joining. Does the new Mavic 2 fit in the Mavic Go case by GoScope that you did a review on a month ago? Kyle, no. It is a little bit bigger. So, unfortunately, it does not fit. And I was so bummed. I know, man. Actually, I have it here, Colin. Hate to burst your bubble. So Kyle's asking, with his GoScope logo on there. Here's a Mavic Pro, right? Here's the case he's referring to. Let me take my filters out. Which is a case I like, and I really like a lot, and I use it. It has a little rip on there, so might need to get another one. Here's a Mavic Pro, and the reason why I like it is just because it literally just fits in here, and then you zip it up, and I toss this into my backpack. But does it fit the new one? No, it does not. It's a little bit size-wise, it's a little bit bigger. So I know that the GoScope cases are really, really made to fit perfectly, or at least conform perfectly. But it just it's very close. It's very, 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 very close. But the mold at the bottom, and I think it just needs to be bumped up a little bit. It's almost there though. Oh, look at that. I mean, I can't push it all the way down, so there's no way I can actually close the lid. But it's close. Those millimeters make a difference, man. Let's see. Sorry. Let me know if you guys, if I might have missed some questions. Throw them in there again. Do I know if the DJI app will be any better for Android? Haven't been able to use my Android phone for 6 months. Scott, that I don't know. I'm on iOS. It's always been pretty stable, so I just don't really test too much on Android. Yeah, Kyle, let me know, man. Yep, Zach, internal storage, 8 gigs. Mavic Pilot, yeah, I know. It's a bummer. When does it release in US, Canada? People on this chat are already saying that they got their confirmation of shipping, so it's going out. Do we get any Family Fi? Do we get discounts? No. It's like Apple. DJI is just like Apple, man. You don't. Well, see, I'm not an employee either, so you get, I guess, employees of DJI maybe, but no, not us. We don't. No discounts here. The only discount it's not a discount, but would just be using my affiliate code, and that's about it. But I don't, there's no discounts I can give out. I wish I was. What iPad model do you recommend for the Pro? I'm actually using a iPad Air 2, which is fairly old now. And still, the Mav mount fits perfectly. So this is the latest and greatest Mav mount. But actually they've had this one for the past certain amount of time now, but it works well. Mount and video, just to make sure it's compatible, will be coming out too. And actually, what other videos do you guys want to see? If you had to see specifics, what other types of videos do you guys want to see? And that way I can really kind of gear what I prioritize, because there's a lot of sample footage out there. I don't think you guys really care too much about the sample footage from me at this point. It's more about the other things. So I'd like to just kind of see what you guys might want. Gerwin, that's it's a cool function, and people will use it, and then it'll it's just one piece of type of footage you can add into your story. Obstacle avoidance, I have that as well, and I'll be I just have to finish a cut on there because they did some updates on firmware recently. So I had to do the firmware update before I redid the obstacle avoidance. So I want to make sure that everything was up to date, which it is now. So there's another small piece I just need to reshoot. Yeah, in and out of trees. Yeah, make sure you guys check out iPhondo's video. He did a really good on obstacle avoidance in his video. He basically always has the top notch overall reviews, which is just amazing. So so make sure you guys check those out. But he did a really cool one where he was actually walking underneath trees and walking around. So really cool stuff. Yeah, definitely do that. In your opinion, for a newbie, which is better? If you're a newbie, Zoom. live broadcast from a drone. That's actually been done a lot before. They've had that feature for a while now. You can actually live broadcast from there. My Earth 1080p video downlink. Yes, that's a new feature that they talked about briefly. You get high res 1080p transmission to your device, which is huge. So you even have a better connection and a better quality connection and resolution of your live feed. Mavic 2 versus Phantom 4, definitely will. I have a couple on those. Thanks, Luke. Oh. Thoughts on 3D mapping, Mavic 2? Man, I haven't done 3D mapping in a long time, so I wouldn't be able to talk about that too much. There was some software I was using from like Maps Made Easy a long time ago, but I really haven't got into it. Harry, I don't. That's funny. Handing out gift bags where, at the show? What's up, Josh? Thanks for joining, man. How many obstacle avoidance? There's a ton. All the sensors all around the drone, sides, back, front, top, and bottom. There's the bottom. Oh. Boom. There's the bottom. So if you guys haven't seen this one too, this is super cool. And it's actually a light. Now, why is that a big deal? Well, let's power it on. You can actually turn on the light and you can have it on. And if you are flying at night, so if you guys don't know, what it does is that when you take off, it actually kind of takes a snap of like the ground. And if it can't do that without light, then it's going to have a harder time coming back and landing in the exact same position. So they added this light feature down below right here that lights up the ground at night, but also you can manually turn it on during the day, and you can see it. You can see your drone up in the air, which is such a cool feature. You guys want to see it? I'll turn it on if you guys want to see it. You guys want to see the light? You guys care? All right. Power up the beast. Powering up. All right, let's see. Let's see the light. Show me the light. Show me the light. At night, yeah, Martin, it comes on automatically at night or in low light, but you can actually manually turn it on too, which is cool. Let's see here. Here you go. So it's called Bottom Auxiliary Lighting, and it's in your Sensors app. So it's on the second where all of your sensors are, and then all you do is it's on auto right now, but you can actually click it and then turn it on. So there it is.
Adding mode.
Look at that. Sorry, I'm not gonna flash you guys, but turn it off. But it's that light right there, which is really, really cool that you can turn that on and off. Now, where can I see something like this? I don't know. I could see maybe even having it strobe, having it just do a bunch of different things on it. I mean, super cool to have. But there it is. You have a light on the bottom of your drone. So basically, like I said, it's It's when it's taking off.
Obstacle avoidance unavailable.
So when it's taking off, it'll light up the ground below you.
Addy mode.
So for those asking the question, does it shoot vertical? Is that what you're talking about? Like, does it shoot straight down? Yeah, it shoots straight down. Sorry, I'm just kind of confused because I feel like I didn't know that was an issue. Maybe there is something on DJI's website or something that made it sound like it doesn't shoot straight down, but there you go. Straight down. And back up. Oh, and it shoots up. Look at that. See? So if you're wondering if it shoots up or down, it does shoot up and down. Cool. Does not have portrait mode. Quality is definitely better than the Mavic Air when you are zoomed in and you're actually looking at the pixels to see. Yeah, Matt, I think that's what they meant. It's portrait versus vertical. Hold on. Let me turn my light off. Let's see how that looks in the dark. Let me turn the light off real quick. There you go. How's that? Is that better? So you can actually see it's lighting up like the chair and everything. Look at that. So my room is actually almost not pitch black because I have my door open, but that's without it. That's with it.
Obstacle avoidance unavailable.
All right.
Only forward and backward obstacle. Addy mode. Obstacle avoidance unavailable.
So that was light.
Only forward and backward obstacle avoidance available.
Let me see here. What else is there? Yeah, flight modes, tripod mode. That's a new one, or at least not a new one to have on there, but it's a new to have the switch on there, which is something I really like. Still tap to focus, yes. But what's cool is this, is you basically, is you half press. You half press the actual button itself. And I can put it up here so you can hear it. So all you have to do is just like a shutter on a camera or a regular button, a shutter button. You press halfway and it'll focus it. That way you're not tapping on the screen. Of course, you can move your focus point around, but so much nicer to just be able to tap it and then it'll focus it. They're doing a lot of kind of UX changes to it as far as trying to keep your hands on the remote, which I really like. Even when it did in this video, which I'll put up, they did point of interest. And if you guys remember point of interest, you select the point of interest, you would have to tap on the screen and make some of these adjustments. Now, point of interest, you actually hit C1, it'll set it. Then you can actually fly backwards and then hit go. So they're doing a lot of those smaller things that I'm a UX designer, so those things mean a lot to me because I can see the work that went behind there to how do you minimize, confusion, minimize, and how do you simplify the experience of using it. So I really appreciate things like that. where they're trying to keep your hands on the remote at all times and trying to have everything done through the remote when possible. Yo, what's up, Ed? What's going on, man? There's 93 of you guys in there. Awesome. Hey, don't forget to hit that like button too if you guys can. That kind of helps let YouTube know that I'm doing something. So hit that like button if you guys can, man. It means a lot to the channel. So that'd be cool. Let's see here. What's the difference between Bernard? I mean, difference between camera and zoom and pro. Very, there's a lot behind that. Sensor size and capabilities of the zoom. More options as far as the zoom range goes. Just a smaller sensor. The Pro, of course, has a bigger sensor, a little bit higher quality. So that's the main differences between the two. Can you still shoot in tripod mode? Yes. What does the remote look like? Exact same as the Mavic Air and the Mavic Pro remotes. So if you guys are familiar with that, it looks exactly the same. So nothing different there. I didn't know I still had tap to focus. Yep. Tapping right now. And you can hear it. It's focusing. Tap. Tap. Tap to focus. Still there. So it's different than, of course, like the Mavic Air, where the Mavic Air is already set to an infinity focus. So you're not able to do those things on that, but you are able to tap to focus on specific items here. And I think that's something that the zoom is going to be big on. I would assume it'd be on there because of the fact that, like I said, that compression, that distance and perspective is going to be a big deal when you go into for the focus modes. Roger, yeah, much heavier, but they bumped up the battery specs to compensate for it. Crow Drone, have you had to use DJI Care before, and what's it like regarding replacing crash drone? Yes, I have. When I first got my Mavic Pro, the one weak point is these legs. So my Mavic Pro, and it was my fault. It was in my bag without a case, and it cracked. So Care Refresh basically took care of that, and you just send it back. And I haven't had anything, knock on wood, dramatic yet, where it's fall into the ocean and I had to recover it or anything like that. But the DJI Refresh is, as long as you can recover it, they should be able to fix it or replace it. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, smash that like button if you guys can, man. Appreciate it, dude. When will the Mavic Pro fly with the Mavic 2 props? Mavic Pro 5. So from what I see, that they do click in. They do work. Or I mean, they click in the exact same. So I haven't flown it yet, but that might be a good little test to see Mavic 2 Pro props on a Mavic Pro and seeing if there's any like benefits as far as flight time. Yeah, the remote is the same as the previous Mavic Pro, not the Mavic Air, but definitely the same as the Mavic Pro. Bernard. Which one do you recommend, the Zoom with 48 megapixels or the Mavic 2? Well, 46 megapixels isn't a single photo. It's a pano photo, which is equivalent to 46 megapixels. So you can do this. Technically, you can do the same thing with the Mavic 2 and get a large photo as well. But 46 megapixels is what you get from doing a panoramic shot, not from a single photo. The Mavic Zoom, I believe, is a 12 megapixel photo, single photo. The Mavic Pro is a 20 megapixel, and I talk about that I'm gonna put that video up tonight. I talk about that in my video where what's the benefits of the sensor and image size, and what's the difference in image size. So I will make sure that gets kind of clarified. Rick, does a Mavic 2 have quick shots too? Yes, it does. It has all the same quick shots as before. Of course, the new quick shot will be with the zoom with the dolly effect. Is the folding mechanical still the same, Phil, when you unfold, fold like the old Mavic? Yes, works the same way. Is the new sensor at the bottom better when flying over water? You know, what's interesting is that a lot of people worry about the water situation. I never really have that many issues because I don't fly like right next to the water. I don't fly like 10 feet over the water. I think that's the only time you really get weird stuff happening is when you are that close to the water. But I mean, if you're flying over the ocean or flying over water and, you know, you're a good 20 to 50 feet above, I mean, there's really no effect. It seems like it's, you know, the effect is when you're coming really, really close to it. And just the movement in the water could throw some sensors off here and there, but I haven't really had that much issue with water because I don't fly like, you know, 5 feet over it. Peter, have you used the Lightree app with a Pro 2? No, I haven't. I really don't use any third-party apps. I just use the DJI Go 4 app. Does it come with a remote? Yes, it does. Office is looking nice. Thanks, Rick. It's a hot mess right now because of these Mavic videos. So everything is out, and I got to shoot. Carlos, does the Pro shoot portraits? I don't believe so. And if you mean by portraits, if you're talking about the same as the Mavic, then no, I don't believe the gimbal rotates. You know, just to make sure, I'm already in here. Let's go. Settings. Settings overexposed, video caption grid, center points, end effector, flicker, peaking threshold, save original, storage location. No. So this is where it was before as far as rotate gimbal. So it's not in there. And I didn't think it would be. What's up, babe? How the filters work? They work just like this. You take off the front element on the current camera, you twist it and pop it off, and you twist on these ND filters. Those are also from DJI, so expect those to be up on the store shortly. I think people said they're on the store, but they're just saying it's out of stock as of right now. Oh, nice. The weight, I think it's like 900 grams. Mavic was like 750, I think. All right. What's going on, guys? If you're new, feel free to jump in. I've actually been on this live stream for over an hour, so I want to like get back to work and get more content for you guys. I'm actually going to be posting a video about this thing that I think was not talked about today, which I think is a big deal, which is the new Vision recognition point of interest. Did you guys hear anything about that one? I don't know why no one's talking about that, but for like a smart capture mode, it is awesome. Think of point of interest without having to fly over the subject. Not sure why that wasn't talked about, because that is so dope. Yeah, the one thing about point of interest was just really cool, and it's really cool of a smart mode. It's because it'll point, give you an actual point of interest, which is like the center point, and it orbits around it. But in my example, like, what if you don't want to fly over the building to get that point of interest? Now, what you have to do in the app is literally draw, like you're doing after active track. You draw a square around that subject. It'll measure it in the air. So in my video, I was like almost 1,000 feet away. It measured the library. It built a radius. I hit go and it flew around the library. I did not have to fly over the library and set that drop pin positioning, which was pretty dope. Energist, Rick, Steve, yeah, Steve, the Energen 360 is on the way. Hey man, look at my Energen right there. Oh yeah, shout out. Not sponsored though. Can you still take shots while in point of interest? Yes. Oh, so they did talk about point of interest. You don't have to pre-fly the flight. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so they did mention it. No, I don't think they did. I think they didn't do a demo though. But I think people should see that one. I think it's actually a pretty big deal. I personally would really like it, because when you fly, landmarks and you fly things like that, you don't necessarily want to fly all the way up to it. Just one, you could be noticed, and two, flying directly above something, sucks up your battery. Plus, if it's far away, all that stuff just starts adding up. And I think if you can just go up and look at a building or look at a landmark and then select it and have it do its thing without having to go all the way up to it and back, I think it saves saves a lot. Will I do a giveaway? Absolutely not of this drone, but I have a ton of giveaways to do. So yes. Thanks, Peter. I'm going to get that up there. Yep. Yep. Yeah, noise levels, Stuart. It's actually not that loud. It's very comparable to the Platinum, and that doesn't really help if you don't have a Platinum. But it's definitely one of the quieter of the drones. The air is super loud and windy because it's like kind of a racer sounding drone. The Mavic Pro is better, but it's still not as quiet as like the Platinum. Those propellers make a huge difference. So they enhance the propellers even more compared to the Platinum ones. So just for the stream, here we go. Mavic Pro, Platinum, Mavic 2, Propeller. Feels good. It's on there. There you go. 2 different propellers. Just to put them side by side. This is the Mavic 2. Mavic Pro Platinum. You can see a little bit of a difference on there. It's a little bit longer as well. Barely, but it is actually a little bit longer. It's just the way my angle is on this. So here, at the long end, if I push these closer together, I mean, you're talking just barely longer. I better take this off before I forget. Here we go. Back to normal. All right. How's autofocus? I mean, autofocus has always been pretty solid, but you definitely want to always refocus on what you're trying to do. Rolando editing tutorial walkthrough, definitely will have that on my list. Noise level video, yes, I have that. That'll be going up. All right. Pop seconds. Compare both drones. I guess when you say compare, it always makes me wonder, like, what do you want to see the difference? I mean, there's definitely a bunch of difference, and one, I don't have the zoom, so that kind of takes that out of the question as of right now. Is that too hot? But I want to make sure that we're doing the comparison properly. If there's any specifics, right? Like, I mean, definitely image quality side by side is going to be something, but yeah, I want to make sure I'm getting, what you guys want to see. Night videos, definitely. Still can fly with iPhone. Yeah, I've been using my iPhone X to fly with it, but yeah. I know, Mike. Only use what's supposed to be made for it. Thanks, Crow Drone. Appreciate it. Ken Key, don't use iPad anymore. Yeah. All right, guys. A few more minutes here. For those that joined a little bit later, I did talk about a bunch of things, answered a lot of questions that, people had about the Mavic 2 Pro. So, feel free to rewatch this video if you guys miss some stuff, some of the basic questions, of course, I probably went through. But try to throw some more other questions in here that might be beneficial for everyone that you might think is a little bit different, something different besides just the basics, standard questions. Oh, can you fly without a remote? Yeah, you can still fly. Without a remote, phone only. You know what? I believe. Oh, you know what? Let me not say that. I don't know, because there's a sync, so there's a sync button. So I don't know, but what's not on here is before there used to be an RC and Wi-Fi. So good question. And there is a sync button for the remote, but I don't know. There's no Wi-Fi button like there was in a Mavic Pro. Mavic Pro had that option. So thank you for pointing that out. Let me check. Where'd it go? Where is it? Is it here? Shoot. I got it. I haven't flown this in a while. Well, since the last thing. So on the Mavic Pro, there was a Wi-Fi /RC button, and the Mavic 2 Pro does not have that button. That doesn't mean you can't fly with your phone, but it's the button's not there, so I have to look up to see exactly how you're able to sync those. Is it now available on the market? Yes, you can purchase it through DJI. Propeller compatibility, same thing I just talked about. Was from what I see, they fit. I haven't flown it yet, so I'm not going to say that it works until I fly it, but it looks like it does fit on there. Because between the Mavic Pro and the Mavic 2. What's above that compartment? It's the USB-C, and I actually failed to talk about that. USB-C is right here. This is the switch for the link right below it. Other side is the SD card slot. It's here. And that's the SD card slot. Can the RC and drone battery be charged at the same time? Yes. Where is it? So, can it be charged at the same time? Yes, it can, because this new power source has a micro attached to it. Another upgrade, which is awesome. That way you're not plugging into the USB or looking for another cable. Charge this up, and then don't forget they also have accessories. The new hub. Same hub as like the Mavic Air. So if you have a Mavic Air Flymore combo, the hub is the same. Or not the same hub. Same concept, bigger of course. And you're able to charge up to 4 batteries. Yeah, the Mavic Air SD slot was a nightmare. Yeah, way easier on this one. How does the battery life compare? Battery life is very, very similar to the Mavic Pro from what I gathered and what I tested, which is still fine. Mavic Pro still flew for a while compared to any of the other drones. Like you fly the Spark or the Air, I feel like I fly for like 5 minutes, but you get pretty good times out of the Mavic. 20 plus usable minutes. I think 22, 23 usable. And when I say usable, that just means when we get down to 30%, 20%, I'm normally flying like right next to me. So and you never run a battery down to 0. So 31 minutes is definitely a tested circumstance. I think they tested also while it's moving slowly, so there is some. It does preserve battery that way as well. There's a few other tests. You have to look at how they do the tests, but the way you preserve the battery mode, I think the drone is actually moving forward very, very slowly. So you just have to look at those benefits of or those kind of the balance between the two. Alan Pratt, why bother with the old propellers? The new ones are designed for it and are supposed to be quieter, right? No, I was just talking. If anything, I was talking about putting the new Mavic 2 propellers onto the Mavic Pro. How does battery life compare? Because Hana won't work with the Pro either. No Wi-Fi. No Wi-Fi. No more handheld. You can still use the Katana, but that doesn't mean you have to use it with the Wi-Fi to the what do you call it? You can still use it as a handle, basically, is what I mean. Gaston, what's going on? Argentina. Person had invested in all props would be able to interchange. Abe, 30 minutes using sport mode? Yeah, no way. Sport mode kills your battery real fast, burns it real quick. Right. What's up, Nick? Max altitude, I don't know. Good luck with that. I guess it all depends on where you are, what you consider max altitude. Wasn't there a video today they were showing when the guy was like 30,000 feet up in the air, something 20,000 feet up in the air? So it all depends on what you consider max altitude. Hey, Rick, filters on Pro? Yes, there are filters right there. That's what they look like. All right. What's going on? What other questions you guys have? And if you haven't, hit that like button if you guys can. That'll be cool. It definitely helps the channel out. Helps YouTube know that I'm doing something positive for you guys here. So make sure you guys hit that like button before you take off if you could. Yeah, the Mavic Pro is not compatible as far as battery goes and as far as battery chargers go. Two different. What's going on, Victor? Belgium. I think the filters are on the website. I just don't know if some people are just saying it's out of stock or something. So, but I believe it's on there. People are saying it's on there. I haven't found it. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just in the wrong area. Store? Oh, there you go. Shoot. How about you just hit search? Wow, it took me 2 seconds. Go to the search, type in Mavic 2, and Mavic 2 filters are right there. For the Pro, it's $79, and you get the set, and it says out of stock as of right now. And then the Zoom also has filters as well. So $59 for the set of Zoom filters, and you get a set of 4. Let's see what else they have on here. They have a bunch of stuff on here, huh? All right. Oh, Dennis, dude. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Hey, actually, Dennis, you know what? Send me a DM because I'll be honest with you. I've only done live streams twice, and you're my first. I don't even know what to call it. What do you call it? My gosh. See? Dude, you guys are ridiculous. I appreciate it, man. Let me know. Shoot me a DM, guys. There's a bunch of stuff coming up. Every time something comes, yeah, super chat. See, that's how bad I am. Yeah, you guys are actually my first super chat, so I really appreciate it. Let me know, yeah, make sure you guys DM me. Got 71 people. I know you guys have some questions. I got about another, I'll just go until another 7 minutes. I'll go until 1:30 Pacific. So if you're on the East Coast, what is that? 4:23. It's been a long day for everybody as far as the drone community goes, which is fun. Let's see here. Let me get into some other stuff here too, which is cool. So There's Hyperlapse. I have a bunch of those tutorials to go through with you guys. Active track, of course, is cool. I just think the overall refresh on this thing has been pretty good. So super excited. Definitely gonna do the hyperlapse videos. Do they have all the flight modes with the air? Yeah, they have all the same flight modes. Water resistant, I wish. Light mist, yeah, you could probably do that. Mavic 2 Pro have aperture control. Yes, it does, Dennis. Let's go look at that real quick. Why don't we look at that? Take control of your camera. Go manual. I'm in auto. Once I go to manual, it's hard to see it. Apologize. But aperture control right here. The same way it kind of looks like with your screen. So as you can see here, I'm at F11. And I can just swipe that down all the way to 4.5, 4, 3.5, all the way to 2.8. So there's your controls right here. ISO is, of course, up here. So I just put my ISO the lowest possible. Aperture open as wide as possible, but can't see anything. So you got to bring your shutter speed down all the way to like, what is that? 20th of a second in order for me to get an exposure. So there it is. You have full aperture control, which is awesome. And that's a big deal. Thank you, Abe. It's a big deal when it comes to just being able to be in the air and you can dial it in. You know, it's a big deal. If you are getting into trying to dial it in, you know, with the 180 degree rule and trying to bring your shutter speed down to like two times your frame rate. So if you go to those, you know, to that length of trying to get it dialed in properly, then yes, that's a big deal. If you're just an auto shooter and you don't mind too much, honestly, no one's going to really notice it. Only a small percentage really look at a video, including my own. You know, some of my videos, I just want to shoot. I just want to get out there and shoot and produce something. So don't overthink it, is my suggestion. The more you think, the more you're not going to do. So just go out there and shoot. Even if I hate to say it, even if it's an auto to an extent, just go out and shoot. Then you kind of go through one at a time. Try a different setting the next time. See what it does. See what the aperture does. Why is it changing? How does it help? I think that you just have to go through those motions and not overthink it. You know, go out and fly, and every time you fly, just try to do one thing different. Is it reliable to fly? Absolutely. Ron, they are in the circular formation around the button. That's, I'm assuming, is the power. What's the difference between visible image quality, Mavic 2 and the Mavic 2 Zoom? I haven't compared the Zoom yet, so I don't know about that one. With aperture control, why need for filters? It's still, I mean, aperture control only gives you up to f11. If you still need some way to fine tune things. Like I said, in this video I'm going to post, in order for me to get the right aperture at the right frame rate, so you have to look at your frame rate as well. Depending on what frame rate you're trying to, what shutter speed you're trying to get at, if you can't achieve that shutter speed, even with your aperture, you're then going to need ND filters. And sometimes a lot of people like to shoot wide open, so at 2.8 at all the time. Then you're going to need to cut light out, which means you'll need to introduce filters. So don't buy filters to think that they're supposed to automatically just produce better quality things. They're a specific need for them, and it's really to control the light. So if you're not, going to the extent of understanding the light and how it's controlled, then honestly, you're going to be putting any filters on and thinking that they're supposed to do something. But it's really just to control the amount of light coming in. And the same thing is with an aperture, an adjustable aperture. It's just to control the light. And it can control the depth of field in certain circumstances. But in the air, I mean, most of that stuff is almost going to be like infinity focus unless you're playing around with like the zoom. But a lot of that stuff is just going to be in focus. Stan, I haven't done the battery test yet, but I definitely will get that. I'm going to try to drain them all and then do a test with actually the hub. So, all right, guys. 1:30 Western time. I really appreciate you guys. Just we've had up to like 80 or 90 people in this thing at once. This is like my second live stream, so I want to thank you guys. For joining. And if you guys missed the first half, a lot of it, sadly, I didn't make like an outline. It's launch day, so it's more just about talking to people and seeing what questions people had while I'm here, because I have it in front of me. So I wanted to make sure I answered some questions. So if I wasn't able to get to you, I apologize. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below. I'm going to, of course, post this video back up so you guys can take a look at it and see what you might have missed, and seeing if I can, timestamp some of these things. But this is just kind of an just a chat. A lot of people had questions about the drone. So that's about it. Thank you guys. And if you're still on, hit that thumbs up if you could. That'd be awesome. Before you guys take off, it means a lot to me and the channel, and I'll make sure I post this up before we get out of here. So, thanks, guys. More videos to come. So if you're not subscribed already, really hope you're subscribed, because there's a bunch of things coming out, and you might want to stay tuned for those. So, all right, okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for joining my second live stream, and I appreciate all the people that hooked it up on Super Chat. And I really appreciate the support. So thanks again. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.